Okay, this is what my sword looks like now. Not too shabby. Okay, some of the things I'll just point out why they are like that. First, the color. You're probably wondering about the color. The color is just painted right now. I use that type of paint that you paint a grill with, a barbecue grill. And that's just because it can take the heat. But the reason I paint it is because I plan on scratching lines in it to tell me where the different bevel marks will be. I'll measure down a certain place and then I'll scratch a line all along here. And it shows up so good on the painted black surface. The other thing is it's pretty straight. It's got a slight curve in it for most of it, okay? To disregard this part, I'll get to that in a minute. But most of the sword is curved gently. And that's just to help it get a head start in the quench. The quench will make it curve a bit. But I am amazed, whatever type of steel this is, it doesn't really curve that much in the water quench. And this will be a water quench. I know it can handle it because the last one handled 4 different quenches, 2 water and 2 oil. So the steel is pretty tough steel. I am thinking the steel is 1055 or 1050 maybe. And the reason I think that is that came from a website that talked about what this steel is made of. Because remember, this steel came from the blade of a loader. And doesn't look, you have to remember that's what it started out as. And I cut out I think a foot-long section of the blade. See, the blades on loaders are replaceable. They bolt them on there because they get scratched off whenever they rub the pavement of the, when they're scratching or scraping. The blade gets wore off. So they make these things to be nice and strong, but also replaceable. They just bolt on. And I cut a foot-long section out of it and forged it into this. And the reason I chose that steel is, first of all, it's free. I have an endless supply of it. And really, 1050 steel or 1055 is a good steel to learn on. And that's what we're doing here, We're just learning. So that's the steel. The bend now. I have learned based on the experience of my other sword, that before the quench, I need to bend the tang. From the, it's at a different quite angle than the blade. I'm hoping that'll give me a more flowing line when I'm all done with the quench. What I noticed last time, because what happens is in the quench, because of the way the clay is added, and then all this clay, it doesn't get hard. It doesn't curl at all. And so it just goes whatever it is. And in my last sword, this was perfectly straight, and it looked ridiculous to have this beautiful curved, and it was really, really kind of very pleasantly curved. But then it came to this part, and this part was perfectly straight because it's the tang. Tangs don't curve at all because, they got the clay on them. So it just didn't work out. It looked ridiculous. So I'm hoping to pre-curve or have that bent like that. It'll flow then better. We'll see. I don't know how much to curve it. This is just an experiment, an idea I came up with. So that's what it looks like. It's like this is like the second real weekend I've worked on the sword. And I really only worked on it for about 3-4 hours tonight, and I think a couple hours yesterday, forged on it. We don't really have to worry about the bends too much in it because, well, it hasn't had any of the heat treating. It's pretty straight. What'll happen is I'll have to do some more normalizing of the steel. That's where I just heat it up to non-magnetic and let it air cool. And the stress that built up in the forging process will come out. But what that really means is the blade will all go kittywampus on me as the different stresses release. And so I'll have to straighten it a few times, I suppose next week, if I get to it, or the week after. So I don't really worry right now if it's not perfectly straight, because it's going to get all kind of funky on me, but it's pretty good. Anyway, that's where we're sitting today.